Trump a huge win that proves he is great president. President Donald Trump promised America he would be the ultimate deals president, and now he has delivered on that promise 100%. He has managed to make a bipartisan deal no other president would have even considered. Despite some backlash over Trump's backdoor deal with Pelosi, Schumer, and McConnell to get funding for hurricane victims with zero contingencies, there is no way they can spin this win against the president. Trump's new bipartisan debt bill was approved 80-17. So let me explain a little something about this bill without all the political bias. Essentially, Donald Trump decided it was more important to protect people hit by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma than to gamble their safety on a political ploy and last-minute shutdown. Also, if you remember, Trump made it very clear when he was elected that he would work with the Dems if the Republicans kept failing in Congress. After 7 months, I'd say the Republicans we have currently managed to fail us big league. In fact, the real reason that the Republicans are mad is not that he sided with the Dems. The Democrats won nothing in their negotiation. The real reason they are pissed is that they wanted Trump to force the next debt ceiling negotiations to be after the 2018 elections. Instead, he decided to hold them accountable. Boo-hoo. Our president, Donald J. Trump, has shown he really does care about country over politics. He brought both sides together and took care of his people. It's that simple. Help get his real story shared everywhere, and maybe Americans will finally realize that, with a good leader like Trump, we really can work together. FBI Director Wray just revealed huge Russia investigation secret that terrifies the Dems. Christopher Wray has only been Trump's FBI director for a few weeks, and already he is making waves that Comey never could. Today he decided to speak out publicly during a conference. Nobody was expecting anything big when they walked in. Boy, were they wrong. That's when FBI Director Wray looked out at the reporters and in a thunderous boom revealed the one secret they didn't want to hear: "I can say very confidently that I haven't detected any whiff of interference with that investigation." Of course, this is exactly what the left was hoping not to hear. They wanted stories about a crooked president manipulating law enforcement. Instead, all they got was a true story of Trump doing his job. Wray's comments came during the Intelligence and National Security Summit in Washington, D.C., a meeting of 6 top intelligence officials hosted by the Huffington Post. Big surprise that WAPO is tied to the CIA again. Still, this is absolutely something that deserves to get out. The director of the FBI just disproved all the media narratives about Trump being corrupt. Do you all really think the media will share this out? Hell no. That's why it's up to all to get this out and set the record straight. Karma alert. Moments after announcing book tour, Hillary got slammed with the worst possible news. Hillary Clinton has done everything she possibly can to stay relevant, but it looks like even some of her closest allies clearly want the opposite. With Hillary's upcoming book tour looming over the heads of Dems nationwide, the general consensus remains that more publicity for Clinton is simply bad for the Democratic Party. This obviously came as an unbelievable shock to Hillary, but most people involved are tired of rehashing her loss in November. Clinton has proven that she may never let it go, and this is a sore topic for Dems who are looking to gain seats nationally in 2018 and 2020. Maybe at the worst possible time, as we are fighting some of the most high-stakes policy and institutional battles we may ever see, at a time when we are trying to bring the party together so we can all move the party forward stronger together, Democratic Representative Jared Huffman of California told Politico. She's got every right to tell her story. Who am I to say she shouldn't, or how she should tell it? But it is difficult for some of us, even myself who've supported her, to play out all these media cycles about the blame game, and the excuses, he concluded. Unsurprisingly, other Democrats quickly joined in. There is a collective groan whenever there's another news cycle about this, said one source close to Clinton. I think she should just zip it, but she's not going to. According to Politico, one former Clinton campaign staffer was asked to comment on the never-ending media frenzy involving the former candidate. The final torture. It's hard to argue that more biased media coverage of Hillary's complaints and excuses will indeed be torture. She hasn't changed her tune in nearly a year, and her new book will undoubtedly follow suit. The good news is her party support will be less than ever, and hopefully that leads to a decrease in media coverage. It is simply time to move on. If your supporters are telling you to stop, it is definitely time. Let President Trump do what he was elected to do and maybe find a way to contribute? Sounds like a much better plan than dragging our administration through the mud in a time of national readiness. What would you do if you were Hillary? Let us know and share this before the media buries it. Sources: Daily Caller. Hell no, Jeff Sessions just did something sick to help Obama's IRS head. Do you all remember when Donald Trump was ready to fire Jeff Sessions over his refusal to go after Hillary Clinton and Obama? Well, it's starting to look like Trump may have been onto something. Today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions ordered the Justice Department not to prosecute Obama's old IRS chief Lois Lerner. Many of you all probably recall back in 2013 when it turned out that Ms. Lerner was using her position with the IRS to target Obama's political opponents. Basically, if you were a Republican organization, she would declare you a criminal and send the cops after you. Well, the case finally made it to the Justice Department, and do you know what Sessions did? He pulled a James Comey and let her go. The official statement from the DOJ on the case read, "The department's investigation uncovered substantial evidence of mismanagement at the IRS. We had not uncovered evidence of criminal intent by any IRS official." The chairman of the Tax Policy Subcommittee, Republican Peter Ruscombe, was very upset with Sessions' decision. The decision not to prosecute Lois Lerner is a miscarriage of justice. On top of Ms. Lerner's actions against taxpayers, denying tax-exempt status to groups for political gain and failing to protect taxpayer information, the department's response blatantly ignores our most troubling finding, that Ms. Lerner intentionally misled federal investigators in a flagrant violation of the law. Now, to be fair, this would have been a very hard criminal case to win. Yes, she did do something unforgivable and treasonous. However, there was not a lot of real evidence to convict her. So there you have it. You all got all the facts about the case. Now it's up to you to decide, did Sessions make the right choice? Steve Bannon just broke down and leaked how Mitch McConnell will backstop Trump. The former chief White House strategist Steve Bannon told CBS Charlie Rose on 60 Minutes that the Republican establishment is trying to kill off Trump's election victory. He said that during one of their first meetings that McConnell told Trump that he needed to stop talking about draining the swamp. Here is the transcript via CBS News. Bannon: the Republican establishment is trying to nullify the 2016 election. That's a brutal fact we have to face. Rose: the Republican establishment. Bannon: the Republican establishment. Rose: wants to nullify the 2016 election? Bannon: trying to nullify the 2016 election. Absolutely. Rose: who? Bannon: I think Mitch McConnell, and to a degree, Paul Ryan. They do not want Donald Trump's populist, economic nationalist agenda to be implemented. It's very obvious. It's obvious as it's obvious as it's obvious as night follows day. Rose: give me a story that illustrates that. Bannon: oh, Mitch McConnell, when we first met him, I mean, he said, I think in one of the first meetings in Trump Tower with the president, as we're wrapping up, he basically says, I don't want to hear any more of this drain the swamp talk. He says flat out. He goes, a guy up on Capitol Hill can't buy a Coke unless it's gotta be reported. He says, I can't hire any smart people, because everybody's all over him for reporting requirements and the pay, etc., and the scrutiny. You know, you gotta back off that. The drain the swamp thing was as Mitch McConnell was day one did not wanna go there. Wanted us to back off. Rose: you are attacking on many fronts people who you need to help you to get things done. Bannon: they're not gonna help you unless they're put on notice. They're gonna be held accountable if they do not support the President of the United States. Right now there's no accountability. They do not support the president's program. It's an open secret on Capitol Hill. Everybody in this city knows it. Rose, and so therefore, now that you're out of the White House, you're going to war with them? Bannon, absolutely. We need to get this out there. If Steve Bannon is right, then the entire Republican establishment is trying to kill off Trump's movement. Share this with 3 Trump supporters you know so that we can get this out there before their plan comes to completion.